What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here to talk about this particular Reddit post that was put up by Solaris. Now, for those of you who don't know, Solaris is the guy who manages the One Piece Treasure Cruise database, which is a website that I use almost on a daily basis at this point for identifying characters, filtering characters, and obviously got access to the damage calculator and a bunch of very, very useful links. If you guys are not utilizing this website, then man, I don't know what you're doing, because this website is so valuable if you guys are a Treasure Cruise player, especially for team building and stuff like that. But this post is very interesting because this particular post is very, very important for the community, because what it aims to do is get a majority poll from the community that goes ahead and interacts with this post, and there is going to be a poll linked to this Reddit post that allows you to choose some specific quality of life updates that you would like to see arrive in One Piece Treasure Cruise, and these particular poll results are going to be sent Bandai's way. So this is a great opportunity for you to select certain things you would like to see reworked, added, or changed, altered in this game moving forward. Now, in this particular post, there's also a link to an Excel spreadsheet, which gives a little bit more information and a little bit more in-depth discussion as to what each of these particular talking points are going through. But in this video today, I want to just kind of like touch up on like these particular points here and decide on the ones that I'm going to be voting for. According to this particular poll, you can only choose 9. So you go through this poll, select 9 of these particular changes or additions to the game that you would like to see, and just submit it. And that's all you really have to do. So I guess let's just go ahead and jump into it. Once again, shout out to Solaris for putting this together. I'll leave a link to his Reddit post and the database down below in the video description, and also as a comment in the comment section. So make sure to come over to this particular post and get this done, okay? It's going to be important for the community, okay? So let's go ahead and get to it. So we can pick up to 9 of these, okay? Let's start things up. Buffing rainbow orbs to count as any orb for specials and barriers. This is a very interesting one because, like, you know, the slot barriers are always the most annoying thing to get around, and I think it would be cool if rainbow orbs counted as every single orb. So if you had a rainbow orb, it would always count towards hitting that slot barrier. I think that would be pretty fantastic. But also for characters that require very specific orbs on characters in order to get certain effects to activate. Like for versus Ace, for example, if your captain has a strength slot, you get the chain boundary effect. Imagine if that character had a rainbow slot, it could be treated as a strength, dex, quick sight, or an int orb all at once. So you could go ahead and get whatever buff you needed. Also, V2 Jinbei would benefit from that significantly, but no one's really using V2 Jinbei. Maybe that's going to make him even better if they were potentially going to do that. Look, I don't think this is ever going to be a thing that they're going to fix in the game, but I think it would be a really nice addition, so it is what it is. Select the team when first starting an adventure. Select team first when starting an adventure. I mean, I don't really care about this one. This is like a whatever thing. Increase power up to feed to 20. I think honestly it should be almost infinite, but it is what it is. New method to get limit break materials. So I guess, you know, outside of treasure map, I think this would be actually pretty cool for people that don't play treasure map. But at the same time, I feel like you should just be playing treasure map from the get-go anyway. Damage testing map. This is interesting. If you guys have played Dokkan Battle, for example, they've got like the punching bag event where you can just enter a fight. There's 5 enemies that have like infinite health pretty much, and they all have different colors. So you can just build a team and test out how much damage you can potentially do against them. I think that's a really, really cool idea. They can have like one particular stage for having an immunity buff, because you know how sometimes certain specials require enemies to have certain effects active. They could build certain dungeons for that and just see how much damage you can do in one hit, and maybe there could be Chopper Man missions tied to that, or potentially with Japan with the alliance system, they could have an alliance system ranking, like a weekly ranking, see how much damage you can potentially do. I mean, obviously modders could potentially ruin that, but I think it would be a cool thing nonetheless. I actually do really want to see something like this. Obviously we're going to have more than 9, so we're going to have to deselect some of these as time goes on. Disable adventure tips at the end of an adventure. Honestly, this is like a whatever thing. I think it's fine that they're there. A lot of them are they're not very useful at all, but I don't think that like they should take time to just disable them. It's whatever. Make the power-up system more streamlined. Yeah, because, you know, after you do, I mean, look, this is just for my circumstances. After doing a bunch of Sugafest polls, it can take quite a long time to feed dupe characters into other characters, and I think if they streamline that process, I don't know how they would do it, but they need to do something because it takes so long to feed or sell characters. It just takes way, way, way too long. Select starting dual unit before an adventure. No, I don't think they need to do that. As good as that would be for like Kizuna clashes, for example, I just don't really think they should. Like that doesn't really matter, honestly. It just doesn't. Retry original mission after an invasion. I know for many people this would be a really, really good thing. I personally don't care too much about this, but if you do care about this, then yeah, go ahead and select it. Personally, I don't care too much. Ship rework, I think, needs to happen, because we have essentially a worthless material in the cola, and the fact that we have so much of it, especially endgame players and like veterans of the game, they have so much cola, and essentially a new ship comes out, they max it, but because they never release that many ships at once, people just max the newest ship, and by the time the next one comes out, we just have max cola again. And especially with getting so much cola from playing Kizuna clashes from the Kizuna exchange, yeah, like, they need to do something with cola to make people want to spend that cola to either upgrade ships or limit break ships. Something along those lines I think would be actually really cool. Favorite saving across data transfers and faster favoriting. Honestly, this needs to happen. This is ridiculous. Anytime you have to change to a different device, whether it's, you know, you got a new phone or you lost your phone and you got your account back, like, there's many, many reasons as to why people change their devices, and this is one of the biggest things about data transfers that people hate. And there's so many gacha games these days that have abilities to easily transfer to different devices, and everything is just the same. You know, the saved data copies across very, very easily. But due to Treasure Cruise's age, it's probably something to do in the back end that doesn't allow them to do that. It's just super annoying. I would love them if they were able to fix that, but it's not like the end-all be-all of fixing Treasure Cruise, right? Show amount of items obtained from chest and icon instead of in text. I don't really care too much about that. Make requests in Kizuna autocomplete if you have passed that level already yourself. Again, you can only select 9 of these upgrades. As cool as this upgrade would be, I just don't think they... like, I think there's probably going to be other ones in this list that you'd probably want to pick over that. More consistent manual targeting system. I feel like a lot of people are going to select this, and I just don't understand why. If you learn the manual targeting system, it's not that bad. I've made a video on my YouTube channel before. If I remember, I'll try and link it at the top of the video. The manual targeting system in this game is pretty straightforward, and if you understand it, you don't really need like the manual targeting system to be changed. Well, yes, sometimes it can be annoying, but as long as you know how it works, it's not that hard to use, honestly. So I would suggest checking out that video if you guys have no idea how the manual targeting system works. Mark units for auto feed. I guess it would be okay, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Language option for German, Italian, Spanish. I know for those types of players out there, those guys would be pretty excited about that, though it's a lot of work to translate the entire game into a different language, so I don't know if they would even do that, but I guess if there's enough support for it, they may potentially do that in the future. Auto-clearing encounters on treasure map after the first clear on navigation level 1. This is also not a terrible one, but at the same time, like, this isn't like the thing that's going to fix treasure map. Treasure map needs more than this in order to fix the game mode, so I just do not think this one is a valid selection. As cool as it would be, this is not the way to fix treasure map, so I wouldn't select this one. Bulk download would be cool, but at the same time, like, this basically goes in turn with the faster favoriting, honestly. Like, this should just be with that, honestly. Like, that's the way that I see it anyway. Effect text consistency. I mean, that's very minor. I don't really care too much about that. Colorblind accessibility. I know a lot of people have asked about this in the past. I think it would be really cool if they did something for that. Personally, I'm not going to select it as one of my 9, but I can understand why people would select it. And as I said, you know, if a lot of people select it, they could potentially fix that in the future. Accept all for mail and Chopman mission rewards. Yeah, I think this would be a pretty nice one. Again, we may unselect this as we go along, but this would be pretty cool. Retiring older legends as Sugo Res and limit available legends on Sugo Fest. They've basically done that. I mean, the retiring of old legends, they haven't done that specifically, but the fact that they limit the amount of legends on a banner now, I feel like that pretty much solves the issues. And current Sugo Fest that have that restricted pool of like 10 to 15 legends, like, those banners are insane. I mean, even the Ace vs. Akanu banner, the fact that the character has a 0.5% chance, 12% red rate, 24 available legends, like, that's already really good, and that's way better than the old system of having every legend available every Sugo Fest. If we still had those types of banners, then yes, I would be selecting this, but with the current structure, they don't need to do that. Increased storage for limit break materials, yes, they need to do that, because once you get capped, you kind of have to max something, which is kind of annoying, because maybe there's a character in the future you want to max for, save, and hoard materials for, and you just can't. So this would be really, really nice. Double tap a stack of manuals to automatically select for a maximum amount of feed. Who cares? Facilities for duplicating drops, boosting EXP or berries gained from quests, and improve existing facilities. This would also be pretty interesting. I don't really know how they could implement something like this, but this could be potentially pretty interesting. Especially if you can have a duplicate drop, and if you use like Buggy and stuff, you get like even more drops. Pretty interesting, actually. Selling out-of-season limited characters and limit break material sets in the metal exchange, yes. This is honestly one of the biggest problems that I have, is like the metal exchange, while in theory it is good, but they haven't done anything with it. All they do is just put old legends and stuff. Like, no one, like, I say no one cares about it. Some people do care about it. Just, personally, I would love to use those medals for something, because a player like myself, and there's a lot of us in the community, just when a new medal shop comes out, we just keep hoarding these medals and we have literally nothing to spend them on. So I think it would be really cool if potentially when a treasure map comes out, make the older ones available, or make like the one available 2 treasure maps ago, so they're not even boosted anymore, but make them available in the shop so you can just go ahead and purchase them. Something like that would be really, really cool, and it would mean that, you know, some of those characters you may miss out on that have really good support effects, you can still go ahead and pick them up with your medals that you've been hoarding over time. I think that would be a fantastic way to use them, and even other items, right, like rumble scrolls or limit break material sets. Yeah, those would all be amazing additions to the exchange shop, and honestly, this is one we're not going to untick. We are keeping this one ticked for sure. Smarter supports, pretty sure this is one is referring to the fact that, you know, you could potentially have a support like Corazon, for example, where anytime you're afflicted with Bind, Despair, and Paralysis, and it's meaning that, you know, you can choose to activate it whenever you want. So let's say you want it specifically for stage 5, but if you get inflicted with Bind, Despair, and Paralysis on like stage 3, you have to have that support activate then. But what if you're able to save that support for when you want it for stage 5? That would be cool, but I feel like it would be like way too good. As cool as that would be, I just don't think that's ever going to happen. Rumble flags as a slider for cotton candy, yes, that would be pretty cool. Tablet, proof of friendship, and flags or scrolls are affected by double skill up rates. I think this would also be really cool. Again, I don't think this is going to be something they'll ever implement, but would be very, very nice. Toggle option for animation skip, who cares? Revamp snails. I mean, yes, to an extent, but at the same time, like, I feel like there's just other important things they should probably get to before they get to snails. Show buff and debuff numerical values. I like this. This would be cool, but again, I feel like there's other important ones. Allow evolved units to use the unevolved art. That would be cool. Once again, I feel like there's other important ones they should get to, though. Revamp of the Rayleigh shop. In a way, yes, but at the same time, again, I feel like there's other important things they need to get to. They should probably get the gameplay modes done first, get those out of the way, and then a couple more efficiency things before they get to stuff like this, or like aesthetic stuff like this. That's just my opinion anyways. Search filter by tags and apply tags to characters. I don't really mind this too much. I feel like the filter system's already really good. What I would like to see, if, you know, the filter system in the game where you can filter, like, you know, a strength character that has an attack boosting special, I would love it if there was one of those, but for support effects. Like, can I filter a support effect that has a despair removing support effect, or a support effect that gives me color affinity, something like that for supports? I would love to see, because while the in-game filter is actually pretty good for building teams, I really, really hate trying to find key supports, and I feel like that would be something that I would really like to see in the game, honestly. Reducing animation time on animations, whatever. Login rewards improve with login days. This would be cool. 2x token, 2x drop in Kizuna. Would love that, actually. Filter based on support effects. Hey, there it is. Hey, I really, really want this for sure. Dedicated Kizuna team slots. I feel like this has to happen. Like, if Treasure Map has it, if Pirate Rumble has it, I feel like, you know, Kizuna should probably have it as well. Improve visibility of requesting Kizuna. Yes, that's actually a pretty big problem. Mass use of Kizuna tickets. This needs to happen for sure. Crew log revamp. I think the crew log is okay at the moment. Fixing lag. The lag is pretty much fixed. Revamp of Treasure Map. Yeah, I mean, there needs to be a pretty big revamp. I mean, this is probably the one that most people should be ticking. Improve friend captain, guest captain system, and increase the friend list limit. Yeah, I feel like the Bandai friend captain is a big problem. They should go back to what they had it before their current fix, where they had the character as a Bandai friend was completely max limit broken. That was actually pretty good, because sometimes you can kind of struggle to locate some of those units you really want to use as captains. And, you know, even if the Bandai friend captain was like max limit broken, even though they don't have candies or anything, or they're not rainbow, just having the max limit break gives them access to better stats, crewmate abilities, even though they're not going to be set as a crewmate anyway, but potential abilities and stuff. Like, the fact that they have the ability to use some certain effects is actually really useful. So I would like to see something upgraded in the friend captain, guest captain system. A more robust auto system. No, the auto system is basically as good as it's going to get. Refresh friend captains without having to restart the game. This would be cool, but I feel like there's other things they should get to. PvP versus friends. This is 110% one of the biggest things I want to see in this game. Because if they have the accessibility of you playing PvP against people on your friends list, like as just a friendly match, not even for points or anything, that'd be perfect, man, because then we could have so many cool things in the community based around this. I want this so badly, and I hope they implement it in the future. And it's really surprising that they never implemented it from the jump, dude. Socket buffing, I mean, there are some that probably need changing. A paralysis one, shout out to my girl for Carissa for that one. She did suggest like a paralysis socket, which would be cool. I mean, I'm not really too sure what else they could possibly do, because I know that, you know, limit break abilities already do some of those things that people have suggested as sockets in the past. You know, like environmental would be cool if they got rid of that one, because no one really uses that. Resilience, I know that these have uses, but at the same time, who really is utilizing those potential abilities, or those sockets, should I say? No one really, so... Anyways, crit limit break ability guaranteed against type advantage. That would be really cool, but I don't think it's that important. Supports for dual units, I don't care. Inversion parity or version equality. Well, yeah, this would be cool, but at the same time, I feel like the game needs to be improved rather than just, you know, make sure the updates are, you know, equal amongst both versions of the game. While I do think this is important, let's go through and see what we're going to actually take off of this list, okay? So first of all, we could probably take off the rainbow orb buff, because I just don't see this ever being a thing. Even if a lot of people suggested it, I just don't see this being that important, honestly. New method for limb break materials. I mean, at the end of the day, just play treasure map. I mean, we know treasure map needs to be buffed, but I just think that there are other more important things to get to. Damage testing map, I mean, I guess you could probably get rid of this. Power-up system more streamlined, I mean, I think you could probably get rid of that as well. I know that sometimes it can take a long time to feed characters, but I feel like there's just, some of the things on this list are so cool, right? Like a ship rework needs to happen just because it's such an old system that has never been touched. This needs a change. The favoriting across data transfers I think is actually kind of important. Accepting all mail, I know that it's kind of annoying, but I don't think it's like super important, because there's not that many situations you're in where you have like 20 mails you have to pick up. It's not super often, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Increased storage I think is very cool, and that needs to happen. I think the facilities, I guess, could like, these potential ones could probably just drop off, and like, I don't think that they're ever going to implement a new facility for dupe drops, EXP, or berries. Improving current ones would be cool, but I don't think it's that important. This one is super important for Metal Exchange, or at least in my opinion. I think Metal Exchange needs a bit of a buff. Rumble flags is a slider for cotton candy, like proficiency potions. I guess you could probably remove that. The login rewards... Login rewards are kind of bad, honestly. I think, you know, when they have the new campaigns, like the Ace vs. Akainu campaign, which is actually really good, but the generic login rewards and the ones when you reach, like, you know, 365 days or 500-day login, 2,000-day login, those are honestly pretty bad. Those are the ones they need to improve. What else do we have here? I guess maybe the Kizuna team slots could probably be dropped out of here, because I feel like the rest of these ones are a little bit more important. Like, I'd rather have improved visibility for Kizunas and mass use of Kizuna tickets rather than have Kizuna team slots. That's just my opinion. I feel like just making sure the game mode is better and more optimized would be a lot more important than having just the dedicated team slots. That's just my opinion anyways. What else do we have here? Revamp of treasure map. This is kind of tough. I don't know how many we need to get rid of. We have already so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need to get rid of 4 of these. Yikes, man. Yikes. Okay, login rewards need to go, because I feel like Kizuna just needs a little bit of a buff. Revamp of treasure map needs to stay. PvP versus friends needs to stay. I guess getting rid of this one. Maybe the friend system. The 2 times drop, 2 times tokens. I guess maybe we don't need that either. What else do we have here? This needs to stay. I think this would be really good for a lot of people out there. This would be so good. And I guess maybe get rid of that, getting rid of the favorites. As much as it pains me, I honestly, personally, do not data transfer literally like that much at all. Like, the only time that I'm ever data transferring is when I get a new device, and like, that is not often at all, right? So yeah, I think we could pretty much drop that. So in my opinion, The ships need to be reworked, like buffing them or making something to do with cola. Increasing storage for limit break materials, I think, is also pretty cool. Selling out-of-season characters and limit break material sets in the metal exchange would be really, really good. Making tablets, flags, and the proof of friendships work in 2x skill up, and also Rumble EXP provided by dupes. All of those are amazing additions to the game, would be so useful. Filter based on support effects also would be very, very nice for team building. And then basically all of these buffs to Kizuna, buffs to Treasure Map, and then buff to PvP. I think these, in my opinion, these are the ones that I would love to see in the game. It is obviously a shame that it's only 9 we can pick, because as you saw, there's a bunch of them that I really would love to have within One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. So let's go ahead and submit that, and we are done. So once again, shout out to my man Solaris for putting this one together, and make sure to go down below in the description and in the comment section to go ahead and pick the ones that you guys would like to see, and let me know down below in the comment section which of those on the list would you guys like to see implemented into One Piece Treasure Cruise. And once this is all said and done, they're going to be compiled and sent off to Bandai, so make sure to get your votes in. So thank you so much for watching this video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.